I think Antonio Brown in his heyday probably looked pretty good.
No way.
Remember that time he stomped the punter in the face? That was a pretty solid break stuff moment right there.
All right, Mike. AFC North. We turn to the Steelers.
Yes.
Ugh. Steelers. Okay. I hate to say it. I hate to say this. But they need a quarterback. Kenny Pickett's not the answer. I love to see Kenny Pickett stay there as a Browns fan. I'd love to see them maybe even move on to Mason Rudolph because you know what? Myles Garrett might throw another helmet at him. Or I shouldn't say throw, club him with a helmet again, right?
That was a clubbing.
It was a clubbing. Not only did, we'll get into that another time. Anyways, QB is their number one need this year, I think. Not necessarily a Pittsburgh fan, nor do I follow them dramatically, but QB, offensive line. I think bread and butter, that's got to be the two team needs, and then potentially even a cornerback as well. Mike, what are your thoughts on the Pittsburgh Steelers offseason?
Yeah, I think, Dirk, the Steelers are actually a team that are positioned pretty well and can be kind of dangerous if they get competent quarterback play. Mm-hmm. And, as of the day that we're shooting this, Russell Wilson has made it known he's willing to go play for the league minimum somewhere. He's been linked to the Steelers, even though that he's also explicitly stated his overall number one option would be to stay in Denver.
Yeah.
I have a feeling Pittsburgh might be where Russ ends up. And honestly, Dirk, I'm not going to say that Russ's 2023 season was great, but it was passable. And if he had the Steelers team that got to the playoffs with the quarterback play they did from Pickett, from Rudolph, I think Wilson could have turned that into a divisional round team last year. So all they really need out of Russ is that level of quarterback play again. You've got a lot of athleticism on the wide receivers. You've got a really good power run game with Harris. I don't know, man. I think Russ to Pittsburgh makes way too much sense. What about you?
Yeah, I think in the free agency, you're going to see a trade. I highly doubt that they're going to sign someone like Baker Mayfield or Kirk Cousins. I just don't see the Pittsburgh Steelers going that way. But what I could see also happening is Justin Fields going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. That's another real interesting trade. Now, don't forget about Trey Lance, who was a top 3 candidate just a couple drafts ago. He is now the backup for the Dallas Cowboys. Not saying that Pittsburgh, please stop with the comments already. I know where you're going. You're starting to type in. It's already hate. We get enough hate as it is. Okay? I'm not saying he's going to Pittsburgh, but Trey Lance is someone that I think in this free agency period you're going to see traded or moved.
He is hanging out there. With that said, if you went back to 1999 or 2000 and you're like, oh, you could pick up Akili Smith, though. It's sort of a similar situation,
sure.
Right? There's probably a reason Trey Lance has been third on the 49ers depth chart and then the Cowboys depth chart.
I'm going to say, though, if Josh Rosen had 7 different chances with different teams, I think Trey Lance deserves at least a second chance somewhere.
He's still a developmental guy. If you can get him on the cheap, I agree. Trey Lance is not the worst look. But I do think if Wilson is willing to go somewhere for the league minimum, it just makes way too much sense for him to go to Pittsburgh and play for one of the best coaches in football, and Tomlin, and a system that's really tough and power-driven. Wilson is not throwing the deep ball really as well anymore. He's not a deep ball passer, but he's not going to have to be in Pittsburgh, and
no.
It's a good fit.